everyone, it's Lesley. I apologize. It's been a really long time since I've podcast. Life has been kind of insanely busy. We're getting ready for the big Toronto Knitters Frolic, and yeah, so it's been a while. Don't change the color monitors. Yes, my hair is a slight tinge of green. I added in, I went to the drugstore to get just brown hair dye, and they have like cool colors, and I'm like, oh my god, there's like this really cool teal color, and I'm like, and it was a 6-8 week rinse, so I'm like, cool, fun. And it's been raining, and I ran my son to work, so I've got this weird wet curly thing going on, but my gray is kind of a strange shade of green, but anyways, I don't mind it. It'll go away eventually. So I'm Lesley. This is Rosehaven Yarn Shop in Picton, Ontario, 2.5 hours east of Toronto. I'm on Instagram as Rosehaven. You found the YouTube channel, so you know I'm Rosehaven. And on Ravelry, we have a Rosehaven Yarn Shop group. And I also have a Ravelry. My Ravelry name is Artsy Mum from way back, but yes. So my husband and I got going trying to get ready for the frolic, and that's why we just had our heads to the grindstone creating our Blankety Blanks, sock blanks. And this is a two-thirds of one that we came up with. My husband's an illustrator, commercial designer, and he also does cartoons and things. So we're like, we got to try doing this. And it was kind of fun. So he printed them, and then I took them in here and went to my little handy studio in the basement to dye them. This is the lumberjack one, and I got my friend Linny to make the sock. Isn't it pretty? Look at the colors in it. So it was kind of cool because now that I've got the sock in my head and how it actually plays out, I'm totally playing with the color dyeing now. We took all these to the Knitters Frolic in Toronto, had a mad rush on the booth, and pretty much sold them all. This one actually mistakenly got left behind and didn't get to the frolic, so it's the only one left that was printed and painted. But I have a whole bunch of wet ones downstairs, so if you're on my Instagram, you've been watching me as I'm madly painting them. And I also did the Blankety Blank, some rainbows. I ended up calling them Rainbow Unicorn Farts because I honestly couldn't come up with a name. So there is a few Rainbow Unicorn Farts. Anyways, so big news in the county, we call it the county, Prince Edward County, Picton, Ontario, is the Fiber Fest. It is May 27th. It's coming up frighteningly fast. That's 3 weeks from tomorrow. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yes, I'm staring at the calendar. The countdown is on. So we have our fabulous friend Kelly McClure, who's Boho Knits, and she is on Ravelry as Boho Knits and Instagram as Boho Knits, and she created a little barley shawl for us because the Fiber Fest is the Fiber Fest. It's 52 vendors of fleece fiber dyers, knitters, crocheters, rug hookers, demonstrators of sheep shearing, everything you can possibly come up with. We have crammed into this lovely one-day event at the Picton Arena in Prince Edward County. And yeah, so Kelly works here, and she's also a hand dyer, creates her own yarns for Boho Knits, and is a major, wickedly good pattern designer. And she just put out her second ebook, so she's gonna come on and say hello to us and show us some of her cool things that are up for sale, her patterns that are up for sale, and we have a little coupon code and stuff. So just 1 second. Hey, this is Kelly McClure.
Hi everybody.
Boho Knits. So you're on Instagram, Boho Knits.
Boho Knits on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Ravelry.
Lots of my designs are by Kelly McClure, but on Ravelry I'm Boho Knits.
And Kelly's getting married in 4 weeks. You picked a weekend right
after Fiber Fest. It's going to be a busy month, but
you're not changing your name.
I'm not changing my name.
Okay, so we're still going to find you.
Not professionally, so everyone can still find me as Kelly McClure, MCCLURE. But yes, everything's under Boho Knits, easy to find. So yes, I did just release a book of patterns. You may have seen some on Ravelry, the Elixir Shawl. We've got the Siesta Serape, which is kind of like a wrappy, blankety shawl
kind
thingy.
of a fun one.
What else have we got? The divination shawl made with loft from Brooklyn Tweed. 3 colors. Linen stitch. Very meditative.
And then this one,
all lacy cotton wrap. So good for summer. Going to the beach or a wedding.
Yeah. Yes, that would be good.
Then there's the Curio Cowl, which is
the colors
double thick. Again, it's linen stitch because I was having fun with that. 6 skeins of chickadee, so you can really have fun playing with different colors and blending them together. You can see how nice it looks when all the colors are blended.
So this one's sedum, and that's
sage.
Oh, yeah, sage. And then bird's egg.
Bird's egg, honey, and bosque pear, I think.
Yeah, bosque, and then back to sedum.
Oh
wait, there's 2. So one's fox. Is that fox?
I think,
or gingerbread. We'll put it in the notes.
There's too many colors to choose. That's why I designed this, because sometimes you just want to put a bunch of chickadee colors together.
I love how it looks like it fades into each other. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's fun, and this is fun. You know, you're going along with the solid color and you get kind of bored. So then you add in the other one and then you get kind of bored of that and go back to the solid.
And it's knitting around in a tube, I'm assuming.
Knitting around the tube, very easy.
Cute.
And like beginners can do this one.
And it's chickadee and it is soft.
It's so soft.
Chickadee. I do love chickadee. Good old chick.
Yeah.
Good old Quince and Company.
Rosehaven was at Knitters Frolic in Toronto last weekend. So
I got new yarn.
Got this new yarn.
Yeah. The fiber company. It's Acadia. What is it? Silk,
alpaca, and merino.
60% wool, 20% alpaca, and 20% silk. I wonder if it is merino because oh my god, like there's little silk noils.
Soft.
It's
I love this cowl, but it's the yarn that really makes it.
Yeah, you made this so fast.
This just came together. This design like in no time. So you start out and it's just knit back and forth. It's just one layer, striping. Then you change this lovely. Oh no, wait, it's this way. So then you change the flower. These lacy little flowers. And
I love that.
They're really
cute.
There, little daisies kind of.
And you called it Flora and Fauna.
Flora and Fauna is the name of the cowl. Then you switch to this kind of textured lace.
And I like how it did this little
like scallopy deal. Yeah. So this was a really fun one, and I'm excited to make a lot more of them.
We sold a lot of yarn for this, and I think we're actually out of the summer sweet color. We sold all of them.
Yeah, so there's lots of nice colors to choose from.
Kelly gave us a little coupon to take to the Frolic, and we have them left over. Now it expires May 7th, so you've got to do it quick. You type in the word Frolic.
Next couple days more, then you get the free pattern. My patterns are often free for the first 24 hours, so you kind of got to jump on it, and then after that, most of them are $5.
Now, can you set up on Ravelry so that you kind of get tagged when a designer loads a new pattern up?
I don't know, and I probably should do newsletters, but I like to just kind of do my own schedule. So
I don't do
I try to give advance notice for sure on Twitter and Instagram, little sneak peeks and things like that. So I apologize, I'm not doing one new pattern the first of every month, but life just doesn't roll like that around here, at least. So yeah, so. So this is the latest. This is the brand newest, and
this pattern is not yet available.
Not yet available. This is exclusive for Fiber Fest, so it will be on Ravelry and it will be available to everybody. However, we'll be doing a little special deal for Fiber Fest. Yes. After that, it will be available to the public. So this is another triangle shape. So you start at the skinny end. This is Little Barley made with 3 skeins of chickadee.
Our favorite chickadee.
So you can pick 3 of your favorite colors. They don't have to all be the same. So it's really a neat one with lots of charming little details. So you start with some net stitch. It's pretty easy stuff.
And that was chickadee goldfinch.
This is goldfinch. So you've got a knitted in picot edge. So you're knitting back and forth. But these little picots aren't added on after. They're just knitted in as part of the rows. So that's kind of nice because you get that little detail, but you don't have to go over afterwards and do them or anything like that. So then you blend in your next color with these little zigzag chevron stripes, and you're doing both colors at once. Then you switch back to the net stitch again, and so on and so forth. So you get to use up all 3 skeins, all of the yarn, but the way the pattern's written is that you can adjust it to use any gauge, any weight of yarn, so you can still get the same effect from a different yarn. But we really liked it with the chickadee. And then you have the picot bind off, so that's pretty.
1 skein of each color.
Yeah, 1 skein of each
Goldfinch,
color.
Carrie's yellow, and honey.
Honey.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's coming out soon, and it's a pretty generous size, you know, like it's pretty big.
And I like how you added the Carrie's,
it's not too
or the
heavy.
Goldfinch on the end
You got the first color on the end again, if you want, but you can do whatever you want to.
Pretty.
I think that's
and we should say, Kelly is sort of famous for the sock head. She's the designer and creator
That was
of
one of my
Sockhead
first designs, and it's just taken off. I
yeah.
think there's almost 4,000 on Ravelry.
Wow.
No.
Seriously?
More than that.
Yeah, I was going to say 4,000.
15,000 now.
Wow.
4,000 and something else.
That's so cool.
Anyway, it's pretty
Did you
neat.
show this one?
Amazing. Yes, this is Elixir, which has been
so that
really
was
popular.
fingering weight.
This is fingering weight. This is Ancient Arts, this lovely blue.
So pretty.
And you do get sort of a lacy section to break up that garter. Yeah. And again, it's a triangle shape. I've been having lots of fun with triangles. I love to wear them.
So now, you can buy the patterns individually, right? Or you can buy the whole ebook, which has all of them?
Yes, so the ebook has 6. There is also a free one on Ravelry, which we don't have the sample here, but it's ephemera. So
that's the one I'm working on.
That's the one you're doing, yeah.
And I forgot it at home. It's beautiful because it's just striping, and I'm using some fingering yarn that I dyed, and then I'm playing around with. It's supposed to just be like every other row, basically. You're doing striping, but just 2 colors the whole shawl. But then I decided to do it 5 colors.
Yeah, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's such a great shawl because you're only increasing on the front of every other row every row on the front, but you don't have to think. You just, switch colors when you come back to that string. And I just needed color therapy. I was so stressed out with getting ready for the frolic and trying to get everything done. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I just need to mellow out and just have something to knit and just pick up and knit. So that was, that's one of my favorites. That one's been awesome. And then I know I've got that lovely little ruffle.
The ruffle
at the end. Is that going to have wrap and turns? Is that what's making the ruffle? Really?
It's just straight knitting. It's really
because it really ruffles on your sample.
It really does ruffle.
Sweet. I don't have to wrap and turn. Yay!
No wrap and turns. No.
Because I have been kicking around the idea. We got these into the shop.
Really pretty.
Of adding in. We have beads now. They're now I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Mayuki beads. MIYUKI. They're glass. They're supposed to be one of the best ones because they're you get like in the small box you get 360 of the bigger beads, and in the smaller beads you get more. I think there's 600 and something in the smaller ones. And we even got the proper hooks because you need teeny tiny little hooks like 0.75 millimeters and that to hook them into your work. So you don't have to string them all at once. There's a little tricky way to do them. But yeah, I've been kicking around doing this. And this is all Anne's fault from Knit Night because she wanted beads to add to her thing and she couldn't find what she liked. And I'm like, oh, one of my wholesalers have those. Let's go looking. And then we went shopping. So now I have an entire tray of beads on our cash desk. So yeah. Thanks, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. I'm so glad you guys all got to meet Kelly. She's awesome. She's my star. And she has fun working in here, and she knows so much about knitting. I've learned tons from her, and plus her designs and stuff are just great. So I've been painting yesterday and today. So these are the Blankety Blanks, and if you want to see, this is what we start out with. Well, Tim takes this. Okay, it's totally getting blown out by the light. So Tim is printing these. So the cool thing is one sock takes about 1/3. So the idea, what you could do, because I know a lot of people are like, but I don't understand. I don't want to unblind it all and lose the image, because the image does disappear. But you're basically going to get 1/3 for a sock and 1/3 for a sock. That's like a normal sized average, I guess like a woman's size sock. That like I showed you upstairs. And then you should get about this much left. So we've got one that we're working on right now that is being knit up, and I'm gonna see if I can take the last panel, and I don't know, like knit around it or make like a knitting bag or a project bag, or I've heard people framing them and stuff, so yeah, I don't know. So this is the fun job of coloring it all in, so it's kind of a fun thing. But it's funny, when we came up with the idea, Tim was like, okay, we'll do all the campers in these colors, and we'll do all the sheep in these colors. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't managed to I think I've managed to paint like maybe 2 or 3 the same. So if you watch me on Instagram, I was doing this one yesterday, and I love the little speckles. It's like there's like a party of confetti going on behind it. And this one, somebody on Instagram said they wanted this one, so we'll see. I'm going to load it up. And so again, these are Tim's illustrations. We've got the goldfinch, indigo bunting. This is a little house finch down here with the red head, and Mr. Chickadee. It's good, nice, cute little Ontario Canadian birds. And then I did the same one, and I did this one. I actually really love how this one turned out with the blue at the top and the kind of green down to the yellow. And it's funny because I just mixed this as a new green that I haven't used before, so. But it'll be so cool because the sock, of course, when it unravels, you're going to get this color, and then it's going to go to this color, and then into the yellow, and then you'll get these little pops of red and pops of yellow in it as you're knitting your sock. And it's just fingering weight yarn. It's superwash merino. With nylon. It's an 80-20, so it's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. So if you want to unravel it and not knit socks and knit like a shawl or something, absolutely, it's fingering weight yarn. So anything that takes fingering weight yarn. I love these colors. I was in a total pink, yellow, orange yesterday. So I did yellow, and then I blended into this kind of coral red, and then right down into a pink. Fun. And then I did get, these are really wet because I just finished them. This is a double stranded one, which means you're actually pulling 2 threads at a time, so you would get matching socks as it's knitting. This one just made me think of dreamsicles, like it's got the orange and stuff and splattering. I was kind of monkeying around with it, and I did this one, and all it is blue and pink, but because of the pink overlapping the blue, it turned purple. And that's a double strand too. So it's literally knit up together, 2 strands. So it actually feels really thick. It feels like it's actually made of worsted weight or something, but it's only fingering. So these are gonna sit by my dehumidifier and try and dry. Right now we're having torrential rains outside. My daughter called this morning in a panic, and she actually phoned me, not texted me, because she's house sitting for a friend, and she's in this old 150-year-old farmhouse, and it started flooding in the basement. So my husband zipped up there and figured out how to get the sump pump going. So we're getting like 50 millimeters of rain, which is huge amounts of rain. Right now, our barn, where we used to have our Galloping Goat gift shop, Lake Ontario is up against it. The good part is we've got 2.5, 3 feet of stone foundation that the barn is actually sitting up on top of. So the water is just at the stones, which is great. It's fine. Stone doesn't draw water in, so the wood is fine and it's safe. But it's getting really high, and now the river is wrapping around, because we're on the Black River, which opens into Lake Ontario, and it's wrapping around the barn. So because the ground is lower at this end of the barn, and then it kind of goes up like this, so the water's kind of sneaking around. We have our motorcycles in there, and lots of merchandise from the gift shop that I've got to sell and move out. I think I might just have like a big, massive weekend garage sale or something in May. No, not in May. I have Fiberfest in 3 weeks. Maybe in June. So actually in June, it's my husband and my 20th wedding anniversary. I don't know. Crazy. 20 years? Like, I don't know when that happened. I mean, the kids grew up, but I didn't. Tim and I still have a lot of fun. Yeah, we both own motorcycles. I technically own 2. We have vintage motorcycles. I have an old Honda 1971 350, and I have a 1983 Suzuki 550, which is fun because it's fast. My little 71 Honda is kind of slow. I wanted a faster bike because I can't go on big roads, and I can't go over the bridge to Belleville or to the cities because I can't go fast enough, and cars get really annoyed. And it's dangerous if you can't go fast enough with the rest of traffic because you're gonna get hit. And then Tim has a 1976 Honda 550. So we like to play around on our little vintage bikes and zip around. They're fun. Yeah, maybe that's what makes 20 years of happy marriage. Motorcycles. I like to ride fast, which is probably why I'm trying to create my own yarn line and make it kind of a more interesting name, which is how the Blankety Blanks, I'm calling it Bad Girl Yarns, like sheep bad, and I was kind of playing around with the tagline, bad is always better. I love that Mae West line, that when I'm good, I'm very good, but when I'm bad, I'm even better, because yeah. So I'm going to start dyeing my own yarns, and I'm monkeying around with that, and the Blankety Blanks so definitely are a big hit. No, I'm not going to wholesale. I've had a couple emails, people asking me to wholesale them so they can sell them in their shops, and honestly, it takes so long to paint these individually. There's no way I could cut down on time and price and all that stuff to make it wholesale and things, and honestly I can't keep up with what seems to be happening already. Which is awesome because we're cranking them out. Tim just went and printed I think a dozen campers yesterday, and he's booked himself into the printmaking studio every week for the next month. So he's going to come up with a new design, he said, for next week, and he's going to print that. Plus I think we'll probably end up doing the lumberjack one again, probably next, and then we'll catch up with the sheep. But I do have 2 sheep painted. This is the other one. It's the pinks, speckly, a little bit of grays to give him some shading around the little sheep. Look at that! I missed his face. I forgot to paint that guy's face. I'll have to go and paint his face later. But yeah, and then the lumberjack, I was playing around with this one, kind of a purple background. They're pretty fun. Yeah, so that's all the exciting stuff in this neck of the woods. So I'm gonna wrap up and check at home, make sure our basement's not flooding. So far this basement isn't flooding because this building I'm standing in, there's a beam right here. I think this building is from the 1800s. I think it's about 150 plus years, and so far the dirt floor in that door right there has no water in it. Not yet. That buzzing noise in the background is the dehumidifier going because it smells like stinky wet wool down here. Because I've been cooking, steaming, trying to set colors and stuff. So yeah, so I think that's about it. So hopefully we'll see you guys sooner rather than later, and maybe we'll see you at the Prince Edward County Fiber Fest on May 27th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I even recorded a radio announcement, so I'm on the radio as well, and it's been going 4 times a day for the next 4 weeks. It's really weird hearing yourself on the radio. You're just standing at work and all of a sudden your voice comes over the radio. It's bizarre. Hey, and it was so awesome meeting some of you at the Knitters Frolic. That was so much fun. Man, I was just... I had so much adrenaline going because I was just like, there's so many people talking to me and things. It was so cool. And I got to meet Shamika, and I got to meet who's Mika Shop on Instagram, I think, and Christina. Yay, Christina. And thank you for buying my Blankety Blank. I saw it on her podcast. And she's the Cozy Knitter and Dye Another Day. And Amanda, I am totally going to see you very soon. I think you said you're coming to the Frolic. Yes. And Margaret and Sheila of Three Sisters Knit, they're coming to the Frolic. Eric, I think he's coming to the Frolic from Sticks Plus Twine. And it was great to meet you too. And I brought lots of Hayloft color in Brooklyn Tweed Shelter because I know that's his favorite color. So he did manage to get some before we were sold out in the booth. And he and I are actually going on May 11th to visit Cabin Boy Knits, who's doing, it's a class, he's doing classes. He's got some really interesting teachers coming, and it's going to be up at his log cabin, which is in Starling, Ontario. So if you look up Cabin Boy Knits, you'll find out more. And Eric and I are going on May 11th, and Kelly is actually coming too. and we're gonna go check out, I think he's doing like a media release and having some newspapers and blog writers and things coming, so we're all gonna go and check out what he's up to, because I think he's doing classes like once a week for a little bit. Sorry, not once a week, once a month for the following year. He's way more organized than the rest of us. I gotta get my classes on. Oh, other news, right, Pam de Groot's coming from Australia. Pam de Groot is an amazing fiber artist from Australia. She was here 2 years ago teaching a class, and she's coming this summer. No, well, it's August 30th, 31st, September 1st, September 2nd. I'm working on getting on the website, and she's going to be teaching free-form construction, wet felting, and using silk and wool, merino wool, and we're going to be doing eco dyeing with it as well, and creating this really beautiful flowing garment with swags and swales and tucks and pleats and things. So yeah, so that's going to be happening here in Picton. The class will hopefully be online by the end of the weekend if I can get back to the computer. Oh, look at, you're looking at all my dishes and dyeing buckets. It's a mess down here. It's a good thing I'm short, or shorter than 6 feet, because otherwise I wouldn't fit down here. Do you want to see the dyeing station just to see my other mess? So this is the dyeing station. Buckets, or sorry, bottles of dye. My tea, it's all here. And my laptop so I can watch podcasts while I'm working away. Foam brushes, really exciting stuff. And then there's all our merino fiber up on the wall of merino. Okay, so I really am gonna say goodbye now. So we'll see you out in the world and on Instagram. And check out the website for more information on the classes and events that I was talking about. Okay, bye guys, see ya.